Today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanisms in one of my favorite childhood games, Stratego. I used to play this so much when I was younger. I haven't played it in quite some time, so I had to refresh myself on the rules a little bit, but the rules are actually very simple. If you haven't played Stratego, it's a two-player game where you get to set up a bunch of units on a board in such a way that you can see what the units are and your opponent can't. This ties into both of my favorite mechanisms in this game. That really comes down to that component, that one-way component. At the beginning of the game, you get to set up your units any way you like. You have this board. I believe you put 40 units out there on the board, and you get to put them anywhere you want in your side of the board, facing away from your opponent, so only you know where they are. This is where the mechanism really starts to shine, because you get this probably 10 to 15 minute period of feeling really, really clever and mischievous as you set up your units however you want so that your opponent cannot find the flag. You have a flag that you're trying to protect. They win the game if they get the flag. I love this time in the game. It's a big, important time in the game. It's not just a little setup thing that you go through. This is half the game, really. You are setting up the game in such a way that your opponent can't win. And you get to do whatever you want. I love the flexibility with that. I love how clever you feel when you're setting up your board. It seems like anything is possible, and the opponent will never guess it during that time. The other part of the game that I really, really enjoy is that a few of the units have special abilities. Especially the number 9 unit, which can move any way as far as it wants in one direction, uninterrupted, forward or sideways. 9 is the weakest unit because any other unit, any lower number unit, can beat it in combat. But the 9 can move so far that it can scout out and see what your opponents do. But what I love about the 9 in particular is that you can move it, if you want, one space at a time to make the opponent think that it's a more valuable unit. So they might waste their time interacting with a 9 when they could be focusing on more important units because you've bluffed your opponent that way. I love the bluffing elements of this game during movement in other areas as well. So you have these bombs on the board that can't move. And so if your opponent sees that you aren't moving a piece, they might start to think, oh, that's a bomb. Maybe I need to use my 8, which is the only unit that can defuse a bomb. Maybe I need to use my 8 to defuse that unit and tap on that unit. But really what you might be doing is bluffing and just having a normal unit that's just not moving to make the opponent think that it's actually a bomb. I really, really love that. One thing I realized when I was looking up the rules for this video, because it has been so long since I played this, is that I might have played something a little bit wrong as a kid. I used the 7 tokens. I gave the 7 tokens a special ability where they can move diagonally in addition to sideways or forward or backwards. And I couldn't find that in the rules. So I don't know if I just made that up and house ruled that, or if that was an official rule and that changed. But I actually really liked that because it made me be able to set up 2 units like bombs in such a way that only the 7 could move out of them diagonally, out of that closed-in area, which led to even more bluffing because I might use the 7 to do that with 2 units that aren't actually bombs, or maybe only one of them is actually a bomb. So I might look into that or just continue to play with that variant. Maybe that's an official variant. If you have a favorite mechanism in Stratego, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Or if you have a favorite 2-player bluffing game that has a really cool mechanism that you want to talk about, I'd love to hear about that as well. If you like this channel and you want to support the game design content I create, feel free to champion it. There's a link below in the comments where you can champion this channel. Or just like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support of this. Thanks.